Hello, we're live. He's got to unmute himself.
Hey, what's up?
Hello,
I gotta unmute
everybody.
myself. Man, that's loud.
I'm so sorry. I hit a different register when I'm. We were just talking for like 15 minutes, and I was probably like really quiet. But now I'm here, and I'm live, and we're ready to go.
So
Hello,
I just
Jackie. Hello,
realized
Jason. Hello, Gilbert.
I
Hello, Fred. Who else? Gray, Atten, John, Feistiest Ninja. Hello, everybody.
gosh.
I'm here with Mr. Bunty King.
Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're having a great night. I realized that I had two windows open. I had two windows open of the stream, and when the intro music was playing, I was like, "Wow, that's really aggressive." Like I'm like, and then you came up. I'm like, why am I still hearing this? I'm like, why am I still hearing this? It was really cool. It was a cool intro, man. I like that.
Thank you
that.
very
How
much.
long does that run for?
What
How
was
long does
that?
that run for after the 30 seconds?
After
How long
30
does that run for after the 30 seconds?
Another 30 seconds, I think. I usually let it go, and then when we put it live, I mean when we archive it, and then when we put it up, I trim it because now YouTube does that. You can trim it after. You can trim the beginning or the end.
I hear an echo, by the way.
You do hear an echo.
Yeah, I heard a bit of an echo.
God damn. How bad is it?
Testing 1 2 3. Yeah, I can hear it.
God.
Testing 1 2 3.
Damn it.
Hold on.
All right. What do I do about that?
No, it's gone now.
It's gone.
It's gone now.
Was it
Yeah.
you?
I mean, do you have? The thing is that maybe it happens when we're both talking at the same time. Do you have like headphones that you're wearing, or?
Oh, you know what it is? It's because this thing has a noise gate. I can do this. The headphones that I had before just sounded like garbage. You know, who cares if I hear garbage? That's fine as long as they don't hear garbage.
Sorry, my voice isn't that special either. How's it going, Gray Man? How you doing, man?
So, guys, this is Bunty King. He is another YouTuber. He mostly does YouTube gaming live streams, but he also does some VOD stuff that is very, very good. That I very, very much like. His little Bunty bits. Bunty bits.
Yeah, thank you, man. Those are fun to make.
Now,
They're
usually,
hard, but they're fun to make.
Usually we don't. Usually we bleep out curses and stuff.
Oh, did I just swear?
No, you didn't. You didn't. I'm just saying
Okay.
it at the beginning of the thing. But
I'm gonna be clean.
No. Will's not here. Also,
Will's.
I don't feel like editing this afterwards, so we're gonna curse. And if you don't like that, you can stop listening right now, because I feel like if one of us starts cursing the other one, and then it's gonna get into it's gonna be a shit show. So, if you got a problem with that, I'm very sorry, but this one's not gonna get that iTunes for all rating.
So Will's the good boy.
Will's the good boy. I'm very much not.
Bob's the bad boy. Okay,
I'm the bad boy. You guys know that? You guys know me as the bad boy?
That's cool.
So yeah, Will's not here. He's dead now. I'm sorry. Sorry to let you all know that. But I wanted Bunty King on here because we just did a video on how to keep a multiplayer community, because as you know, Titanfall 2. Have you played Titanfall 2 at all?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Yeah.
Good. I just started the campaign last night.
And
I think it's awesome, but it's just the campaign, so I haven't like dived into multiplayer or anything.
Hold on. Sorry, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
Flaming Blue, how's it going? Mr. Glow really taking advantage of the whole cursing thing. Jackie says Trump gets a talking animatronic at Disney Hall of Presidents now. Oh God, that sucks.
He gets an animatronic. That's jokes. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was a question you asked. You asked me a question earlier. I was gonna go ahead and answer it, and then I got distracted.
That's okay. I think we were talking about Titanfall 2.
Oh yes, Titanfall 2. Yeah, so I played it. Yeah, and I played it on launch night. So as soon as I was able to get it.
Oh, good.
Last week.
You played the multiplayer like immediately?
Yeah, I played the multiplayer. I beat the campaign first because I wanted to get through that, and then I played the multiplayer. Yeah.
Nice. So you did play the campaign first, like on launch night. Okay.
Yeah, I played the campaign straight through. It was really fun. It was really, really fun, man. It was like well done, well put together.
Good.
Story is pretty basic, but well put together, I would say.
Yeah, I'm really burnt down on Call of Duty. Like I used to buy every single one, and every single one was exactly the same. And I wanted to play the first Titanfall because it felt like the Call of Duty formula, but like with a good twist, finally something different.
Yeah, but the community bounced.
The community bounced, yeah. Especially this one. This one, they all bounced.
In Titanfall 2, there's no community anymore. They're just gone.
No, not Titanfall 2. The new Call of Duty.
Oh, the new Call of Duty, of course. Yeah,
that one's not doing too hot. But I mean, Titanfall 2, like, well, you had 3 shooters come out recently. You had Battlefield 1, you had Titanfall 2, and then you had Call of Duty. What's this one called? This one isn't Infinite Warfare, is it? It is Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, Infinite Warfare, yeah.
So, Titanfall 2 got sandwiched in between, and it's selling the worst, but it has the best, Metacritic rating. I'm fearing that because the first Titanfall, the multiplayer community bounced like real quick. It like fell off real quick. Everybody thinks that that's going to happen with Titanfall 2. Not a lot of people are going to play it, and then a lot of them are going to bounce. They're giving out the DLC for free, which is a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful idea.
You stream a lot of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes, I love it. Oh my god, it's the best game.
Rainbow Six Siege came out, and not a lot of people liked. I mean, it had like mixed reviews, I would say.
It was marred with issues. There's tons of issues everywhere, especially the PC community.
I'm a huge Rainbow Six fan, and I hated Siege when it came out.
Yeah, you got to give it a shot.
Yeah,
you
like
really have to give it a shot.
I'm hearing now it has a bigger multiplayer community than it ever had.
100%.
How?
100%.
Like, how did that happen?
They cared about their game. They invested in their product. They polished it. They really polished it. There's things there were things that were so ugly when the game first launched, when I played on PC, and I still have it on PC, and it's beautiful on PC now too. They banned the hackers. It's ridiculous. But it was played with hackers. But what else? There were like weird design choices. Like if a map loaded in, if you didn't catch what the name of the map was or what kind of mode it was at the very loading screen, it wouldn't tell you anymore. So you had no idea if you weren't paying attention for that split second when they showed like the map with the game mode, and you went to the character select screen. That was it. You had no idea what was going on. They added that afterwards. They had little tiny things they were finding. Right. They made characters better. They balanced things out. Like it just now you feel like you can play with any character and you're not really at a disadvantage. Like it's like really 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 cool. So it's I don't know. I like you. I was never a huge Rainbow Six fan. I thought Rainbow Six Vegas was very cool when it first launched on Xbox. I was like, it felt very unique and tactical, and it was like completely different pace than we were used to most shooters at the time. But it never got into it. And when Rainbow Six Siege came out, I liked the destruction. I thought that looked really sick. And then I played it, and I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't wrap my head around getting killed through a little hole in the wall that I didn't even see.
Yeah.
And then I realized it just comes down to the map knowledge. It comes down to listening. It comes down to the audio. Oh man, it's the audio. That there is audio in Rainbow Six that I've never heard in my life. It's just such beautiful audio. Like that is crazy on its own. That's like an achievement on its own. The audio in that game is unmatched. Unmatched. In terms of like the environmental audio, like people running around, you can hear people running around. Like it's so it's like ominous. It's nuts.
That's a big problem in Destiny right now. They do the Trials of Osiris every weekend, where it's like you have to win 9 games in a row, and then you get to like go to the lighthouse and get all this exclusive loot. The last 2 weekends they've been doing it with no radar, and in Destiny, there's no audio cues or anything. So if somebody is behind you, you have no idea that they're behind you.
Yeah. So it's crazy, yeah.
I'm imagining that Rainbow Six has a lot of stealth elements. So is that audio cues or something that's important, like hearing footsteps behind you and stuff?
Oh, totally, 100%. There's not just audio cues. There's like visual cues too. You'll see like you'll see these people that are like you'll see like dust coming from this, like depending on the map. Like if it's like if they're like walking on a really shitty wooden platform, you'll see like dust fall through, and like you'll see that there's like people are walking on top of you, or you'll hear it, like you can hear the sound of muffled footsteps, and Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really crazy, and it's all about audio and like little tiny movements, like them like stepping on something, them stepping on a fucking on like a piece of wood. They step on a piece of wood and they move it with their foot. You can hear that, and you'll be like, "Oh, I've killed people. I've killed people because I heard some guy put his weapon down. I heard him put his gadget down, and I just immediately like turned over, and it's really 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 sick game. I remember watching some guy's kill cam. I was shooting at someone, and like the guy saw one of their teammates, the guy who was shooting at their teammate, like looked over, saw bullets coming from the bathroom I was in, and then didn't come around towards the doorway to kill me. He just shot through the wall in the direction that he thought I was in and killed me. Killed me. It was insane. I was like, that's siege. That's the siege effect. That's what it was like. I loved it. It was really really good.
That's the Rainbow Six that I want. When I
It's 100%
when I first started playing it, it felt like a departure from the other Rainbow Six games. Like Rainbow Six,
big time, though.
Rainbow Six Vegas, people were saying was like the biggest departure. I I love the Rainbow Six series because of how tactical it is. Because you have to do a lot of planning. You need to take it really slow. You need to do a lot of teamwork. I like the old Rainbow Sixes when you would have to map out like your entry. They don't really have that anymore, but I guess you can still, once you know the map, you could still call it out and tell your teammates where to go and stuff.
Totally.
I guess when the game first came out, it wasn't. People were trying to figure that out because people were too used to the Battlefields and Call of Duties, just running in and shooting whatever the hell they wanted. So I guess now it's people who know how to play the game.
No, totally.
And I'm assuming everybody wants teamwork. Like if you don't have a mic, people probably bounce.
You can't win if you don't have teamwork in the game. You cannot win.
Yeah,
because it's one against 5 other people who are communicating, and that's crazy. It's insane. It's like like I said, there's multiple times in that game where I'm playing and I always play at loud volume where I've had like jump scares where I'm just like I'll hear like a gunshot and like just from behind me, and like I'll get dropped and will jump scare. Today I screamed. I actually screamed. Like I had like a little scream where some guy ran at me. I was like, oh my god, I didn't hear him. I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I heard. Yeah, so yeah, the old Rainbow Six it was very much like you commanded a squad of people. It was like this game on it's like this game on Steam. It's called, I forget what it's called. This is game on Steam.
I know
it's
what
like
you're saying. Where you're like the blocks.
It's like a SWAT game. No, it's a SWAT game. It's. I want to like pop. Let me just go ahead and pop open Steam real quick here.
But yeah, you had a before the mission started. You had a map of the level, and you had to. Well, this wasn't multiplayer, although this is only in the single player. And maybe
this is single player too.
Maybe this was in some of the multiplayer. I don't remember. But my jam was the terrorist hunts, which they have now, but they're kind of like not the same. You would map out the level. You'd have up to 3 squads, so there'd be your squad, and you'd have like 4 people. And then you can have 2 more squads, and you can tell them where to go on the map, and they'll come in one way, you come in the other way, and you like meet in the middle. And it was awesome. It was like you were commanding like a real squad of people. Or you can just turn around and shoot the people in the head and go on on your own, which I used to do a lot before I got the hang of it.
Really, that's so cool. That's so interesting. You used to like, oh wow, I remember that like in games. It's so funny. Older games had this like bit of freedom that newer games don't. Like you were able to turn around and shoot your buddies in the head.
They were different.
You'd be able to kill the scientists, and like stuff like that. But now in games, they limit it. You can't like blow someone up. You can't like kill somebody. It's so weird. It's just weird that way.
I guess
I forget the name of the game.
Somebody's saying XCOM. Blair's saying XCOM in the chat.
No, it's not XCOM.
It's not.
It's not XCOM. It's another game. It's
There's also Breach and Clear, which is like an iOS game. I think it's on Steam also.
Oh yeah, Breach and Clear is one. That's an iOS game.
Breach and Clear is good. Breach and Clear is just the planning part, and it's awesome. It's almost like a game of chess. So it's good if you want a good mobile game.
I feel like I fucking know this game. What is it?
Rooster Puncher.
I own it.
You do own it. Rooster Puncher here says the originals were more of an RTS than a shooter. You could play it either way. You can play it as a shooter, or you can play it you don't even have to play it. You can just map the level out and have your AI do everything for you. And I don't think you could do it in the new one, but you can tell your team like open this door, and then they would open it, and then they would get shot in the head if somebody was behind it.
Door kickers. It's called door kickers.
Door kickers? I've never heard of that. I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah, door kickers is a good one, man. It's a really interesting one. So you got like a cone of vision. You're pretty much setting your dudes in, and it's like top down. Top down. Looks like a. Oh, SOCOM was great. You know what's funny? I met the creative director behind SOCOM.
Really?
Like I met the dude. Yeah. This guy was really, really chill. Like he works now. Now he works for Compulsion Games, and that's a studio here in Montreal that's working on We Happy Few. So it's pretty crazy. And he was a pretty jaded individual. He definitely wasn't a happy dude, because apparently, like, you know, he's not really recognized at all like other people. But he made SOCOM.
That's insane.
It's like one of the brains of SOCOM. It's insane.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. But if you think about SOCOM is such a forgotten franchise.
That was like
forgotten.
That innovated like that space, you know, the whole tactical shooter space.
Absolutely, yeah, totally.
Let's look at those door kickers here.
There it is, man. That's it. It's a good one. I own it. Look at that, overwhelmingly positive reviews. Nice. Yeah.
Overwhelmingly positive. I'm not a Steam guy. I don't know anything about this. This looks kind of like Breach and Clear, except that it's like live.
Yeah, you can pause it. You just change up the tactics. You can like, yeah.
So do you
sick.
do you just map out what the player does, or are you controlling it with like mouse and keyboard, like shooting? Are you shooting with the mouse and keyboard?
You map out their actions.
Okay, so yeah, that's very similar to Breach and Clear, except this looks more like less like a chess game.
This is sick. This looks
really
more
sick.
I actually want to play it now.
This looks awesome.
I really want to play it now. Yeah. So. Yeah, and if you think about it, also SOCOM was like the first game really to use the PS network.
Yeah,
it made PS network what it is, you know, and it was it was the first. I think it may have been the first console online multiplayer game. SOCOM, because
it was the Halo first. It was definitely the first shooter. I want to say. Because
Halo
for PlayStation 2.
Halo 2 came out. Yeah, Halo 2 came out in 2004 though. That's the thing, and that's what really put Xbox Live on the map. They had Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, I think, had a multiplayer element to it on Xbox Live. I think it did. But I don't know. Right. This is like, yeah, the whole Mercs versus Spies and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Siege, you got to play it, dude. Do you play on PC or
I play on PS4.
Yeah, that's cool. I play on PS4 too, man.
Oh, good.
You gotta get it, man. You gotta. Yeah, dude, I'm killing it on PS4.
Do you play on PC also?
Like, great time. Yeah, I have it on PC, but I don't have anywhere near the amount of like experience on PC, good. Like in terms of like having characters and stuff like that. Yeah.
I thought you were one of those guys. I thought you were gonna chew me out for playing it on PS4.
No. PS4 actually, you know, it's funny. Like I tried to talk to this with my buddies who do play exclusively on PC, and I'm like, I think that Rainbow Six Siege is better on PlayStation 4, and they're like, whatever, you're ridiculous. The reason why I think it's better is because it's a lot slower on PlayStation 4, and they're like, oh well, that's because you're a baby. No, it's not. It's not like it's because of a baby. It's just that nobody in a real life like counter-terrorist situation would move in as fast as you do on PC. It's insane. It's actually insane. So
does it feel like a Twitch shooter on PC? Like, are people playing it like
sometimes because you can? Because the thing is, you can toggle a lean on PC, so you can like literally walk around the whole map with just this constant lean, just leaning constantly. And like people, what they do is they just strafe back and forth really, really quickly in between a door, just like leaning. And it looks so weird. They're not even aiming. They're not even aiming down the sight. They just lean and they just fire shots, lean and fire shots. That's all it is. And the community is, I think, a whole lot better. There's more people active on mics. Like, they're really serious on PlayStation 4. They're really serious.
I really want to get back into it because I've been hearing such good things, and I just need people to play it with, and now here we are.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely, dude. You should definitely play. I'm always down to play that game. I'm always down. It's just such a good game. It's always like a new experience too. Like every map, like some games are really shitty, but like every time, it's your team that completely changes the way you play the game. Like, you know, based you're more aggressive. If you feel like you have a more solid team, if you feel like your team is a little bit more calculated, you end up like holding back a little bit more, being really careful. It's really, really sick. So,
Yeah,
hey, Digital, what's going on, man?
I want to get back into that.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying that they want to get inside your beard, and they're very disappointed in my beard game. I forgot where that was. I'm very sorry.
It's okay, man. You'll get there. You just got to keep shaving, and you got to keep growing, man.
Rooster Puncher says your eyes and ears are your best weapon. I guess so. I guess you're talking about Rainbow Six.
He's talking about Rainbow Six Siege, yeah.
Because the operations team is pulled from 6 different countries, but each attack squad is a 5-man team, and the active. He just sounds like he's explaining the whole squad based thing.
He is.
So
yeah,
let's go to YouTube.
Sure, man.
You started doing just live streams, right? YouTube gaming live streams. What made you pick YouTube gaming over Twitch?
So at the time, I had a friend who I'd known for a while, and he started doing it. And he saw that he was having some success on YouTube gaming, and we saw it as a new platform, right? Because at that point, really, it was only Twitch that was like kind of dominating the landscape. Now you have everything. There's like Hitbox, Twitch, Stream.me, what's the other one? Beam,
MLG TV.
Oh, dude, there's so many. There's so many like streaming platforms now. So, and at the time, YouTube gaming seemed like it was it was going to be a lot like Twitch in a way. Their setup was different, like with the whole featured sidebar, like you had featured streamer. I was a featured streamer. It was pretty cool, Like I got my first 1,000 subs purely through live streaming in a month. In 1 month, I got 1,000 subs. Yeah, but like subs.
Your first 1,000.
My first 1,000, yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I got my next. And then I got my next 2,000 or 3,000 in the next month.
Damn. So wait, what month was this?
This is November. I started November 4th, and then it started slowing down. It really started slowing down.
You got 1,000 subs for your
November.
first month in November. That's crazy. Because YouTube Gaming had already been out. It came out in the beginning of September, late, like the end of August.
Yeah, no, man. YouTube gaming was a really crazy place at one point. It was like it felt like the Wild West. It was insane. Like people were just coming on there, and they were just finding fucking like gold everywhere. It was just insane. It was like they were just finding like all this shit, that so much wealth if you were able to go ahead and like start live stream regularly. And then at some point they removed the featured streamers, and then other changes began to happen, and it just became really a weird place. It became a really weird place. Like I was really involved in the community at one point, like super involved in the community, and that changed. That really changed at one point. I wasn't as down anymore, because I found that it was like you're collecting these subs. You collect 1,000 subs. You think, okay, well now that I have 1,000 subs, I should have at least 20 people in my chat at all times. I should have because these 1,000 people, they subbed to me while I was live streaming. They didn't sub to me when I was not live streaming. They subbed to me when they saw me live. They hit the sub button. So I should have at least 20 of them, right? And that's not the reality on YouTube at all. People think subs equal views, and subs do not equal views on YouTube, and especially in live streaming. Like it does not. Yeah. It's not the case at all. There's like all these things that people are barking about the whole notification system. And the one thing I have to say is that on YouTube gaming, I met the developers, and I think they're such wonderful people. They're
very nice, and they really want to fix their shit and get feedback from people.
Totally, and I agree. YouTube gaming is on its way to doing some really cool things. Like I've seen some things. I'm under contract, so I can't say what they're doing, but there's some really cool stuff in the works for YouTube gaming. Like it looks nice, and but then I had a falling out with this friend that got me into YouTube, and it was really bad, because it was just it was over lies. It really was over lies, and just not being. It felt like I wasn't being I wasn't being valued or treated properly, and I lashed out of the community. I lashed out of YouTube gaming, and so I lost a lot of credibility with the YouTube gaming community, because I used to talk about streaming all the time. Streamers would come to me and talk to me and want to just interact with me, and not anymore. Now it's like I'm the guy that I'm like the old king, the forgotten king. It's like this dude that's just like I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just chilling. But yeah, some people from YouTube gaming staff unfollowed me on Twitter. They were just not down like with my opinions on it. Yeah, I apologized. I apologized about it. I said I was really angry and I was upset. I came from a wrong place. But yeah, YouTube gaming overall, it's interesting. Like they really started off very like I felt like they were really focused on live content, and now they're not as focused on live content. They say that they're going to be more focused on live content, which should be cool, but we'll see.
So did you lash out during the whole when you were talking about the whole PS4 share issue?
Yeah, totally.
That was the issue that you lashed out about?
Well, I didn't lash out about. See, what I didn't lash out. What I didn't lash about people using it. I knew exactly why people are using it. The thing is, like, and what bothered me about some of the people using it was that they were in denial about why they were using it. They didn't want to say that they were using it because YouTube gaming wasn't giving them views. They didn't want to say that. They wanted to say, oh, everything's fine on YouTube gaming, but meanwhile they're using this trick where they have to unplug the internet from their PlayStation and then hijack their stream from OBS or XSplit, you know?
Wait. Explain that a little bit.
Okay, so what happens is the PS Live trick is very simple. So it sounds more complex than it is, but it's just super simple.
Right.
As a lot of people know, PlayStation has their own live platform. So when you can broadcast any game from PlayStation, it goes to their live from PlayStation platform, which has its own recommendation and which has its own algorithm to present you what's trending or what's hot at the moment, right?
Right.
And it often rewards people who spend a lot more time streaming. So if you're this guy who's streaming 8 hours a day, it'll reward you. Like there was people that were using PlayStation Live only, like the really shitty overlay, the shitty PlayStation Live where you're this tiny square in the corner and there's a little number that pops up with how many viewers and comments you got. That's all it was. It's literally just that. And I used to see these people using it back in the day and getting up to 1,000 people watching them stream Grand Theft Auto. That's because I never put two and two together. And the reason why this was happening was because PlayStation, like I said, rewards people who are on for longer, and it will go ahead and start boosting their stream on PlayStation Live. And the crazy thing is that obviously, it links to your YouTube account, and you also show up on YouTube because you're obviously streaming to YouTube. And there was a streamer that I linked up with at some point in maybe April, and a really cool guy. I love the dude. He's such a fun dude to play games with. He also plays He's the guy who pretty much made the PS Live trick as known as it is. His name's Skilled Apple, and what he did was when he started streaming, I used to see him streaming directly from PlayStation Live. I was like, yo, this guy's got 600 people watching him. I just thought, he's just a streamer that people really enjoy. The reality is PlayStation was boosting him. PlayStation was always boosting him. He was streaming. What do you call it? Fucking shit. Rainbow Six Siege.
Rainbow Six.
So, yeah, streaming Rainbow Six Siege, just really having a great time. And then he started streaming The Division, and The Division was so hype, man. The Division was ridiculous. Thousands of people watching it.
The hype was insane when that first came out.
The hype was insane. It was great. It was a great looking game, and then he started stream. I was like, yo, man, you got to stream with a sick overlay, man. You'd kill it, because I thought that he was just getting 1,000+ viewers organically because he was just streaming for a long time, and because I thought that YouTube gaming was rewarding a lot of people, because I felt like I was being rewarded in YouTube gaming. Anytime I streamed, it was easy for me to get to over 100 people. It was easier to get to over 100 viewers concurrent, no problem. I was like, okay, so things are good,
Yeah.
I always stream at a point where there's a lot of people streaming. So for me, 100 something people was sick. I'm like, this is awesome. This is really good. 100 people right now when big names are streaming, yeah, that's awesome. But then when he started streaming, he had no viewers. He had 10 people watching him.
On a computer, with a capture card.
Yeah. When he was streaming without PlayStation, he had 10, 20 people, and he noticed this. And then what ended up happening was he started starting the stream on PlayStation. So what he would do is he would launch a game, and then he would share to PlayStation. He would just broadcast to PlayStation. And then he would go to his dashboard on YouTube and see the event that would pop up, because it's populated as an event. Like you made an event for this.
Right.
All right. It shows up just as an event. And what he would do is he would go to the ingestion settings, all right, and he would copy the stream key, and then paste it into his into his encoder, OBS or something like that, which also had the game, running and everything, and his overlay and all that stuff. And then he would just unplug the network from the PlayStation, which would cut the broadcast, but it wouldn't close down the event.
Right.
The event was still open. All right. So PlayStation just saw a normal interrupt, so they kept the event open, and then he would just hijack the stream via OBS, and suddenly he's streaming the game. All right. With a completely unique overlay that nobody else has on PlayStation Live. And he's getting, all these views are counting towards his YouTube views.
That's fucking crazy.
So pretty much what was happening was that so pretty much what was happening was that, think of a random person on PlayStation, right? A lot of people surprisingly use PlayStation Live to watch their streams. People don't go to YouTube Gaming to watch streams. If you think about streaming, a lot of people think about Twitch or they think about Hitbox,
right,
or these other platforms, but they don't think about YouTube. YouTube is when you think YouTube, you think VOD, you think short videos, you think viral videos. That's what you think. You don't think live streams, right? So people are using PlayStation Live, and suddenly you're getting all these views on PlayStation Live because they see a stream on PlayStation Live that looks so different from every other stream on PlayStation Live, and they're just there. And then next thing you know, all these views, all this watch time that's being generated on PlayStation Live is transferring over to YouTube, and then YouTube's engine is like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, sick. There's all this engagement. People are watching for longer durations. Oh, we should probably recommend this video. Oh, the game is hype, dude. I was so upset when this happened because it wasn't like I was bothered by people who were using it. I was bothered when people were using it and they weren't being honest about using it. They weren't kind of just whatever. They were talking about it like there's nothing wrong with YouTube Gaming. But the reality is that the reason why the PlayStation Live exists, the PlayStation Live trick exists, is because there is something. There's definitely some growing pains with YouTube Gaming. You're not getting enough views. Live streams don't get enough views on YouTube Gaming. People say that they do, but these are people who are already watching live streams. So because I watch live streams on YouTube Gaming, now it'll recommend live streams to me in my recommended feed. But for people who don't ever see a live stream, they're never going to see it. They're never just going to see it. That's the crazy thing.
See, I know about the PlayStation Live and how people get viewers just from PlayStation Live. I did not know about that trick. I know that there are people on Twitch who, they all started off playing on the PlayStation Live, yeah. And they were afraid to switch to just PC setup because they were going to lose all of those viewers. But I'm not sure if that trick will work on Twitch because it's not like
an algorithm. No, it's not. It doesn't work the way it does on YouTube.
Yeah, well, also it creates a new stream if you lose connection, It creates a new past broadcast.
Oh, it does, huh?
Yeah,
on Twitch.
So it'll chop it up. If you lose connection, it'll just start another past broadcast. But for example, you still go to twitch.tv/WolfDen, and that's where the stream is. You get one unique link no matter what. So whenever you go live, it's twitch.tv/WolfDen. But on YouTube, the link is different, and that's why that works. If we lose connection now, I can start up again on the same video. Yeah. So I guess that's where it's different. But Twitch people were using it to their advantage too. But I feel like with Twitch people, they could gain those viewers that they lost by having a really nice setup. And for YouTube, it seems like they were abusing the system so much that they were getting so many more followers and subscribers and viewers that it wasn't worth it to switch to PC. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's it. No, on YouTube is ridiculous. On YouTube, it's actually madness, man. All the big streamers are using it. Every big streamer is using it. Stat, Card Plays, Skilled Apple, One Shot Girl was using it. There's all these people that are just using it, and it's just madness. I was talking about it. I was always telling people, guys, PlayStation Live trick, it's an issue. People are using it, and it works. And they're like, no, there's no correlation that it works. You have no idea that it works. And they were just talking down to me. They're like, you have no idea that it works. I'm like, yo, I'm not an idiot. It works.
It definitely works. It's definitely a thing.
They don't want, and they just did not want to listen to me. So I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna get Mafia 3 on launch day, a game that had hype. I knew that had hype. People were looking forward to Mafia 3, and I was like, I'm gonna get it on PlayStation 4, and I'm gonna stream it with PlayStation Live, and I almost hit 1,000 concurrents because of PlayStation Live. Yeah, man. And I was being pretty arrogant about it. I was like, at one point, I was like, hey guys, if you're watching on PlayStation right now, can you just type in PS in the chat? And whole chat just filled up with PS. I'm like, this is what I was talking about the whole time. You know, it was just completely ridiculous. And people were upset, of course, because, you know, it annoyed them that I was on board now too. Even though I was pretty adamant about how bad I thought it was. But I just thought I never thought that the trick itself was bad. I just thought that the fact that we need the trick is bad.
Yeah.
That's all. And it just sucks.
AJ, I just did something with my pen tablet here. AJ or Fanatics4 says Xbox has a similar thing going on. They host streams in the marketplace. In the marketplace? Like the Xbox marketplace?
Yeah. So some streams, like if you're lucky, if you're playing a game from Xbox and you're like streaming from Twitch, yeah, you'll get shown up over there for sure. They'll have that.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know in the marketplace.
Yeah,
that's like a prime spot.
I love that message deleted. Little message deleted. I saw it pop up.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I saw it. I figured it. click, delete. But yeah, so YouTube gaming is interesting because I think that they're making some improvements, but I think that they don't care about the fact that, you know, it's this trick is something that people can use to their advantage, and it makes it like I don't feel comfortable streaming a game from that's available on PlayStation 4, not on PlayStation 4 on YouTube gaming. No fucking way.
Right.
I'm gonna stream it from PlayStation 4 every time because I'll use PlayStation Live, and then YouTube's algorithm will be like, oh, hey, let's recommend this because the game is hype and he's got a lot of people watching him and there's all these different things going on because no one knows how the juice works. No one knows how the magic works. It's like just a, YouTube gaming algorithm.
Honestly, though, if it works, like, you got to do it. You have to do it because you have to. If other people are doing it and it works, then you have to do it. You know?
100%. Yeah.
And that's why it's a problem. It's because it works.
Yeah, totally. That's it. It's terrible.
And you know what? You're right. People aren't going to gaming.youtube.com and like looking for live streams. They're only watching people that they already subscribe to, and they're doing it on regular YouTube. And if they see them go live, they're clicking watch in YouTube gaming if they want a black background. That's really it.
No, YouTube gaming is not at the point right now. It's not really something that people are going to be like. They're not. YouTube gaming is not on the radar. I felt like it was getting there.
I felt like it was too at the very beginning, and that's kind of why I stopped. Like, part of it was like I knew YouTube gaming was happening. I knew it was coming for a while absolutely. Because I streamed on YouTube last year for a while because I noticed I was getting more viewers on YouTube than I would on Twitch. So I switched from Twitch to YouTube.
Because it's an algorithm. It's an algorithm. It'll give you more viewers than Twitch. You definitely have.
We just had more subscribers on YouTube. That's really the only reason why we were getting. And YouTube gaming wasn't a thing yet, so it was really just only our subscribers. So I would do that every week or like twice a week or something. Then and I was doing it as much as possible because I knew YouTube gaming was coming out. And when YouTube gaming was coming out, it was perfect because I didn't have a job at the time, and I was like, "This is sick. I'm going to stream every fucking day when YouTube gaming comes out." And it came out. I streamed every day. It was insane. We had this spike in our subscribers that is unmatched to this day. It was ridiculous. But almost immediately, like the first day of YouTube gaming, we had 4,000 concurrents because we were on the front page, and it was like 4 a.m. No one else was on. The next day, it was 1,000. The next day, it was 100. And the next day, it was like, for like a week, it stayed around 100, and then it dropped down to like 10, like immediately.
Is it crazy? Isn't that nuts, man? It's crazy. It's so demoralizing. It's demoralizing. And there's some people, and the crazy thing is that some YouTube gaming staff members actually stream, right? But they've never had like 1,000 people watching them. They've never had 400 people watching them, 500 people watching them. They've never had like subs coming in all day for
Yeah.
like 6 hours. Like madness. They've never had that. So when we lose that, when we've had that, when we feel like we've earned that, and then it's suddenly taken away, we're like, wait a minute, we're so confused here. This makes no sense.
I feel like it's worse for you because you started with that, you know? Like
Yeah,
you
I started
started
like
streaming with that, and
yeah.
you must have thought like this is it. This is it all the time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. I'm like, I can make it, I can do this. Like I was seeing that the ad rev was coming in. I had a lot of sponsors on YouTube Gaming. A lot of sponsors. I had like 100, close to 140 sponsors. Now I'm down to like 60, 50.
So that's like a sub on Twitch, right? Like they pay $4.99 or $3.99.
$3.99, yeah.
Because I just right before we started, I learned that Twitch Alerts, now called Streamlabs, has a YouTube option. So I was setting that up before this, and I saw that the whole sponsor thing. Do you use Streamlab, or what do you use for alerts?
Mm-hmm.
You use Streamlabs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I use Streamlabs and Livestreamlabs, livestreamlabs.com, which is put together by a very intelligent person named Chris Plays Games. He's another YouTuber, and yeah, he put that together. Those are for my sub notifications. I get those for sub notifications, and there's something else, but they're really easy to set up. And before I was using something called Stream Warrior.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't use that anymore.
So yeah, I was streaming pretty much every night when YouTube Gaming first came out.
Okay.
And we were on the sidebar. You know, we'd go up the front page whenever someone else wasn't bigger than us on the front page, because we were all the way at the bottom of the sidebar. Then I got my job back and I started streaming 2 times a week, because that's pretty much all I could do. And I was, because we had to do 20 hours in order to stay in the sidebar. You need to do at least 20 hours. And I was able to do that. And then we changed our format around. We started doing this live show, and this live show was to keep us on YouTube. And I wanted to do live streams on Twitch so that Vicky can help me out. And it ended up not being worth it. We ended up actually still getting more viewers on YouTube than we would have on Twitch. But I also didn't want to muddy up our content with like VOD of live streams.
I know. That's something I deal with on the regular. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, because you don't want people to like click on your channel and see that that's all you do, you know? Especially if you're really proud of the, you know, like,
Bunty bits.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, man. That's the thing. And like, can you go to my I hate asking you to do this, but can you go to my YouTube channel right now and tell me what the first thing
By the way,
see?
He's linked in the description. You could see it immediately. There we go. First thing I see, well, I'm subscribed, so the first thing I see is your FuzzyTube. Oh, it's all Bunty bits.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's all Bunty bits.
Let's see what happens if we do it in an incognito window. It's your trailer. Okay.
And then Bunty bits. Oh.
And Bunty bits, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So you're good.
Oh my good.
There's like no live stream. Oh, there they are.
There they are. They're at the bottom, which is fine.
Yeah. That's good.
It's easy to navigate, right? It's pretty easy to navigate, and the little sub to That's so stupid.
I love that.
I'm actually insane.
I love that.
It's insane. Oh man.
But yeah, I love your VOD content. It's like I don't want to say
crazy.
YouTube drama because that's like derogatory, I feel like. YouTube news.
It is. There's some YouTube drama there, definitely. Like the whole FuzzyTube bit has been YouTube drama, but like I try to cover everything really. Anything that's I feel passionate about. The next one I'm doing is on. It might be on the election actually. It might be on what's going on with the election. What's going on with why people feel a certain way on the election.
Right.
I also want to do one on feminism. I also want to do one on this guy. This is one YouTuber channel. His name is Stinky Cash. This guy's a flat Earth theorist, bro.
Oh,
this guy thinks the Earth's flat, and he thinks that Jews did 9/11. So I'm like,
I know a few of those. I know a few of those.
But I'm just like, bro. I'm like, yo, you're crazy, man. There's this one video where he's filming with his like webcam. He's not filming. He's filming with his phone, and he's filming he's filming it from the rear view mirror of his car. So he's like, he's got the camera pointed at the rearview mirror of his car, and he's got Jews did 9/11 on the back of his car, and like in the window. So he's painted it on. Jews did 9/11. He's driving around, and he's like, this is the truth, guys. This is the truth. And I was just like, man, I need to do a video on this guy. This guy's insane. He's out of his mind. He just makes no sense. He's so loud. He's so just talks loud.
I'll never forget. I was with two of my friends, and we were at Moe's, which is a Mexican place, just having a burrito. And they started talking about 9/11, and I was like, God, just fucking kill me right now. And I was on one side of the table, they were both on the other side, and they were like, Bob, it was the Jews. And I was like,
this is so crazy.
Is anybody else hearing this? And they're like, you know that, right? And I was like, no. And they were like, you're fucking crazy, Bob. You're crazy. I was like, I'm crazy. Do you hear what you just said?
Yeah, no, insane. The moon
Edgar
landing
says
was a
YouTube
lie.
Commentaries. That's a much better way to put it.
Yeah, that's it. It's YouTube commentaries.
Commentaries on the YouTube community.
A lot of commentary, yeah. But yeah.
Eat that pussy. I can now say your name because I'm not bleeping anything out. Says Bob's voice is really rocking my world. Well, I appreciate it. I hope it gets you wet.
Yeah, Bob has a nice voice. So that's the crazy thing about your channel, man. I saw you when it was the whole No Man's Sky thing. You did a video that was like No Man's Sky related, had over 100,000 views.
That video was the only thing that matched the YouTube gaming spike in our analytics. That video came out. I think it's the Will No Man's Sky Suck? Is that the video?
Yeah, it was so good. It was such a good, well done video. I saw it. I was like, I need to talk to this guy. It was well done. It was professional. I thought you guys were like, I thought you guys were like, I thought you guys were doing this professionally. I thought you guys are like, it was like IGN level. Like that's good quality. It was really quality content. Even this right now, like you could tell, like design the intro. Who did the intro?
That's me. Because by trade I'm a graphic designer, and by trade my brother does film stuff.
Video.
So yeah, so it's like
beautiful,
perfect mix.
Jealous.
Thank you.
Jealous is so good. Such a nice like look to it. So good.
Thank you. That video, the No Man's Sky one, it came out almost like maybe an hour or 2 hours after IGN posted an IGN first video that was like an hour long, and nobody was doing No Man's Sky content because nobody knew anything. Mm-hmm. And so there was really just the IGN video and my video. And my video just piggybacked off of the IGN video. And that's why, and because it was clickbaity as hell, is No Man's Sky gonna suck? And people just
no. You asked a question and then you like answered it. It was good. It was a really good video.
I'm not ashamed of clickbait titles because you have to do that.
But it wasn't a shameful clickbait title. It wasn't like a
there's boobs in this video and then there's no boobs.
yeah, no, like No Man's Sky sucks for real or something like that. That's like, I don't know. It wasn't clickbaity. It was very like, well, No Man's Sky suck. A lot of people were asking that question. They were all asking that question. Everyone was asking, and they all felt like it was gonna suck. And lo and behold, it was such a shit game. It was terrible.
I felt really bad when that game came out.
Oh man, that was what a bad game. What a bad game.
So normally we talk about news stuff, and I feel really bad that we haven't talked about anything. We've just been shooting this shit this whole time.
We've been just talking shit the whole time. Really, it's been chill times.
So what do I have here? I usually cobble this shit together like on the train on the way home. First things first, the Marvel shit. Tom Holland reveals that 6-film contract for Spider-Man. So there's going to be 6 Spider-Man movies. What that really means is there's probably going to be 3, and 3 of them are going to be, cameos in other movies.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
I think he says it. I think he says it in here. They give you his quote is they give you options, and those could be exercised whenever, like a cameo in Avengers. I'm unclear as to which movies though. I do know I have 3 Spider-Man movies and 3 solo movies contracted. What does that mean then? But if you have another movie, Marvel is so good at working around it. They're very respectful of your life, really. They understand that you have to work on other movies and they try to fix it up so you can work around each other. So it even says in the article, it's unclear.
This is going to be the Spider-Man kid from the
Avengers.
Captain. from Captain America.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that, I love that one calls it Avengers because it felt like an Avengers
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. It was
That
better
was
than
it
the
was
Avengers
sick, man. What a
movies.
sick that Captain America was awesome. It was
I
very awesome.
I have to say that I like the Captain America movies better than the rest of them. I like all of them. I like all of the Marvel movies, but the Captain America movies are just like
It's crazy that they come out with so many. Like, you know what's crazy? And people, I don't think that the generation that's born, the generation that was born in like 2000 after, they don't understand how sick this time is
oh, it's
for
insane.
movies. And it's insane. We grew up with Marvel comics, right? So we grew up with like these comics. We grew up with the X-Men show, things like that. You know, like these were just shows. Like for us, like we never like when we saw the first X-Men movie, we were like, whoa, X-Men movie, Spider-Man movie, and then next thing you know, there's just this train.
Yeah.
After the first, like, after Marvel Studios was like a thing, just after Iron Man, it's just been non-stop Marvel like superhero movie, and they've been getting better and better, and they're just so entertaining. They got their own like world. It's I don't know, it's crazy. It's just nuts. It's like I'm like blown away every time.
I have this memory
And
of when I was really little and I was at a friend's house and I was a huge Spider-Man fan back in the day. And not so much anymore because his stories have not been good. But
Same here, man. I was a huge Spider-Man fan too. Maximum Carnage, one of my favorite series of all time.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Maximum Carnage.
But I was at a friend's house. There was a magazine that was like in what was it 2000? Oh, in 2001, there's gonna be a Spider-Man movie, and it's gonna be sick. And I was like, man, that's so far away. That's probably gonna be real awesome. And then it came out, and it was awesome. Yeah. Then the second one was awesome, and the third one not so much. But I feel like these Marvel movies, we're getting so many of them, and they're all so great. They're this generation's like Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, Star Wars is now becoming this generation's Marvel again.
Yeah. Like, I feel like our kids are going to go back and watch all of the Marvel stuff. But for them, there's so much content. We only had 3 movies to go off of.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah.
But like,
it's insane. Just so spoiled.
I remember watching Star Wars, like 20 years after it came out, and loving the hell out of it. So
of course.
They have like 20 years to love these Marvel movies.
Of course. They'll still love the original Star Wars movies. That's the thing about Star Wars movies. They're just so timeless, especially when you show it to a kid, like it's like their imagination is wild. So much stuff is made up for them in their head. Like it's like, there's so much content that these kids don't understand. They don't understand how lucky they are. They're in the time. They're like, we're in this Renaissance period.
Especially for comics and nerdom in general, because
it's getting so mainstream. It wasn't mainstream before.
It's cool
being
now.
A fan of like, yeah, dude. If you're like I remember when I had this. I was in elementary school, and I had this Batman lunchbox, and this kid was like, "You're a fucking loser. Batman sucks." And like, now I'm like, I fucking love Batman. Batman's like my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
He's the best. Like I think he's just the best. And now everyone else thinks he's the best. Everyone else loves Batman. They all think Batman's so great. Yeah, well, that's because it's become mainstream now. Video games, mainstream. Esports, dude. I'm telling you, man, esports. In the next 10 years, esports are going to be like actual sports level.
Dude, everybody I know that isn't in like the gaming world or like the nerd world or whatever, that's all they talk about is you hear about this thing called esports. It's millions. They make millions, these people. And I'm like, no, all right, like some of them do, but like,
No, man. If you're going to these competitions, these big ones, for the right games, right? If you're a Street Fighter esports dude, you're not gonna do it. It's so crazy because Street Fighter is one of the. Yeah, go ahead.
But League of Legends sold out Madison Square Garden last year in a day. It's sold out. Like it's huge. It's huge already, and it's going, and they know it's going to be huge. ESPN is partnering with MLG. Activision bought MLG TV and is using the hell out of it. Or no, they bought MLG. Period. I think Activision, and that's why you're seeing like the Overwatch competitive leagues because Activision Blizzard, they own MLG. They want to use all that, But it's smart. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. It's insane. Someone said, I hate the kind of mainstream because now Rhode Island Comic Con is packed every year, way too many people. Yeah, that's the pitfalls of it going mainstream. And
New
yeah,
York Comic Con is insane.
I've never been to a Comic Con in my life.
Really?
My sister goes to Comic Con. She goes to the Montreal Comic Con every year. She loves it.
Is that one
Goes,
big? Is there like a
it's
lot of
not
people
that
there?
big.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, E3. How ridiculous is E3 this year? I just couldn't even walk.
E3 was terrible this year because they opened the floodgates to like every
everyone.
streamer imaginable.
It was just insane. But there wasn't just streamers. It was just like randoms that were just showing up in there. I'm like, yo, I thought this was like a trade show.
Yeah, I feel like it's just been getting easier and easier to get a pass. You know.
I don't know, man. It was just too many people. It was sick though. It was a beautiful experience because I've always seen E3 from far. I've always been like, oh, I would love to go to E3.
Yeah.
You know, I always had my I like, and going there finally was like a dream come true, and being able to talk to these developers and just see what's going on. And
I will say this year's E3 was the best I've ever had because I like met people and stuff. You know, I was like actually hanging out with people.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to try out Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, I did not. I didn't wait on any lines. I like.
Man. Well, Horizon. Well, the thing with PlayStation, they managed it pretty well. You went in and you just booked. You had to book a time with them.
I totally fucked that up. So how was that? How was Horizon?
Oh, so nice. It was an early alpha, and it looked like it was like a finished product. I was like, this game is gonna be sick. I can't wait for that game to come out. It's coming out next year, like early next year. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, that actually seems different. It's like a little change
Very
of
different.
pace.
Oh, good. It looks great.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Let me dig into my stuff here. What else do I have? I feel like we're having such a good conversation. I don't want to ruin it with these fucking stories.
I met my first friend ever in kindergarten because he liked my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles backpack. Yeah, man. Those stories, I wish those stories I were relatable to me. I had no friends in elementary school and high school, man. Everyone made fun of me.
Everyone made fun of you for being a nerd?
No, they made fun of me because I was a skinny brown kid. Like I didn't have like the way I don't look the way I do. Like if you look at a photo of me from when I was like 17, dude, you won't recognize me.
Actually, I think you posted one.
Yeah, I did. I did on Twitter.
Yeah, that did not look like you at all.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I was a privileged white kid. But all my friends were nerds also. There was like a very small group.
You live in New York? Like you live in the city?
No, we live on Long Island. So we grew up on Long Island. It is like the whitest like you could possibly be over here.
That's cool though, man. That's cool though. Honestly, I love Americans. I feel like it's hard to forget. It's easy to forget that we're so different sometimes. We're not different, but we're so different. Like given this election that just happened, it's just really interesting how things were dawning on me as my friend came over yesterday and we were watching the elections and he was really pent up because Trump was winning.
Right.
And he was like, this is
it surprised everybody.
Stock markets were hurting. It was just like really people were not expecting it at all. And it's just given the nature of his campaign and all that stuff, it's just like blows you away that this guy can become president. It's hopeful in a way because it's like now it's kind of like, I could be like, well, listen, you know what? I don't need to be PC because the president didn't need to be PC.
See, that's
I don't need to.
That's what I thought. Today, people were so on edge. Like, on it. Like, on Twitter and everything. If you said anything that was, like, a little bit, like, not PC, people would, like, jump right at you. People were so sensitive.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But it's crazy because it's gonna... This is perfect. Like, Trump's win is a perfect example of how... like people are fed up of PC culture.
It's true, yeah, and they're also afraid to talk about it, and that's why nobody knew that was going to happen because people were afraid to say that they supported him,
Yeah, it's insane,
and
it's actually weird.
New York is super Democratic, like super Democratic,
for sure.
and it's Hillary's state, like she was the senator here, but Long Island, which is almost always Democratic, all voted for Trump. And I don't know anybody who supports Trump. Really? Like some people in my family, but like that's it. I thought that was like a very small group. And no, like there's, everybody was just afraid to talk about it.
Wow, man, that's
It was
crazy.
crazy because
Totally
there's so
nuts.
much like animosity around it.
I here's what this is gonna sound so shallow. I don't know why people would want to be president. He's ugly. He's actually an ugly person.
Yeah,
He's an ugly human being leading the country. Like now, Americans got to be like, yo, this ugly fucking dude with shit hair is my president.
yeah.
Like, really? I would never want that. Like, have you seen the Prime Minister of Canada? Prime Minister of Canada
He's
looks
a
like a guy
beautiful
who I could
dude,
like.
right?
Yeah, I could fucking chill with him. I'm like, yo, you could be my friend. You know, I don't want to be friends with fucking Trump.
Yeah.
No way. I wouldn't be friends. I would see that guy. That guy's the guy I would see, and I'd be like, no, I don't want to talk to him. Oh, never mind. Leave him alone. You do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing.
It's just that it's just that like the system is so absolutely flawed, like that we had we had the shittiest decision to make, and it surprised everybody.
Or this guy. No, it's just like, what are you gonna do? Like, it really is just such a. It is. I was gonna say. I was saying. I wanted to tweet this yesterday, but I didn't. I said, good luck, America. Whoever wins, America loses. Like, it's really what it is.
That's true. It's true. You know,
it's just like, like people are upset.
That's the thing.
They feel like they're voting for the less.
People voted for Trump, and that's why he's president. But nobody wanted either of them. I think 14% supported Trump in the beginning. That's how flawed the system is.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I think that. But here's the thing we're talking about. I realize that there's things that we have here in Canada that we take for granted that you guys don't have.
Like what?
Like abortion clinics.
Yeah.
Like abortion clinics.
Yeah. We have them, but I mean, they're
environmental issues are dealt with way differently than they are over there in the States. We think that's so normal.
Yeah.
You know, and we forget that they're so different. That there's some states that don't. Yeah, healthcare. But there's some. We forget that there's some states that don't allow abortion.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Girl gets pregnant. She get what? Like, for no reason. Like, it's insane.
2016. Yeah, and there's still.
And people are 2016. Still, yeah, that's the thing.
People are still voting based on religion. They want a Catholic president. It's like, why does that matter?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know why.
That's my thoughts on the election. In case anybody wanted that. I think we gotta wrap this shit up. So normally, what we do is we dig into the chat. If anybody has any questions or comments for us, we will talk to you.
Yeah.
Also, go to the hashtag WolfDenLive over on Twitter and see if anybody has anything to say about that. And right now, we got some. We got Kurt over here on Twitter. Who was the best fictional president? Interesting.
Fictional president?
Fictional president. Harrison Ford in what's that movie? Air Force One. Thank you, Dad, from across the room.
That's so funny. Your dad's there. That's jokes. Yeah, that's jokes. Yeah.
And also,
Air Force One, for sure.
What's his name from Independence Day? Except they had a new Independence Day this year, and it wasn't as good. And
it's true. That was the president that got into a fighter jet, right, and like took out.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. That's the trials you should have to go through to be our freaking president.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Fred asks, who would win, Thundercats or Wildcats? Wildcats with dots in the middle.
Who the Wildcats?
That's I'm going to Google it, but I'm pretty sure that's the one with the jets.
I've never, my childhood was really screwed up, so I don't even remember the Thundercats or the Wildcats.
You don't know the Thundercats? You know the Thundercats.
Maybe if I see them. But
Wildcats. Never mind. Wildcats is it's a comic series. Jim Lee and like Rob Liefeld and a bunch of other people left like Marvel and started their own thing, and they did Wildcats. Definitely not Wildcats. They would not win.
Never ever heard of that.
Whoop. I always do that. I always hit the wrong one. He also said, insert required One Piece reference. Oh, shut up, Fred. Always talk about One Piece. We also dig into last week's Wolf Den Live so we can see the comments over there. And I forgot to do that. Let me do that now. Uh,
Yeah. So, but
okay.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm reading the chat right now. Talking politics. They're like, there people have no idea how crazy it is that there will be a one-party government. It's true though. It's really true. Seakeller's right. One party, man. Republicans only. They can push everything through.
Yeah. That's the problem though, is that there's two parties who want exactly the opposite from each other. So nothing ever gets done. And that's where the issues are,
Yeah.
you know? And that's why we were stuck with this bullshit decision, is because the two parties who are worthless decided who we wanted, and we didn't want either of them. So, last week's Wolf Den Live. Jason Tide asked, whatever happened to Battleborn, Bob? Okay, no, that's the game that was like Overwatch, but by Gearbox.
Oh.
You ever seen that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I understand.
I mean,
What
I heard it was okay, but it also came out at the same exact time as Overwatch.
I forget that when people ask these questions that like they may not have like an understanding of video game industry as much as we do. So
Yeah.
I'm just like see that and I'm like why would you ever think that Battleborn would be good? Why would you ever think that that would be the move? Like we know when we're watching games come out like when Blizzard says something, Blizzard's coming out with the game, we know it's going to be big.
right.
It doesn't matter if it could be Blizzard's like smallest game, the least hyped game, and it's going to be so big because Blizzard is Blizzard.
Yeah.
Blizzard is a titan.
They got the
in
polish,
industry.
man. They know what they're doing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. They don't just spit out games. They really make calculated decisions on the products they want. Man, look at World of Warcraft, man. World of Warcraft, best MMO ever made.
And it's been
Best
going for
MMO
what,
ever
like
made.
15 years? 15 years strong?
Oh yeah, and it won't stop for a while, for a long time.
It's just that Battleborn came out and it looked like a ripoff of Overwatch, even though they were probably in development at the same time and didn't know what each other was working on. But it's just a victim of the time, you know? And that's a problem. You're seeing that more and more. You're seeing games that are pushed out at a bad time, and that's why they're failing. Like Titanfall 2. Like, that's a great game, but because of the time it came out, it might not do so well. That's a shame.
That's true. That's true. But Titanfall 2 seems to be doing pretty well for its. I was able to get into games pretty quickly and kind of want to play some, to be honest with you.
Flaming Blue Skull says, "Did you make it to Target for that game sale?" Target over here.
Yeah, sick.
They don't have that in Canada, right?
They did, and it failed.
Yeah, there's like a great YouTube channel that does failed stores in strip malls. That's the whole YouTube channel, and they have
so
one
funny.
on the Canadian Targets, and it's awesome.
That's so funny. What is this channel?
I have to try to find it, but it's such a stupid idea, but it was so interesting. But yeah, anyway, Target had a sale, buy two get one free games. I got Titanfall and Battlefield 1 and Vicky has my Skyrim. I bought Skyrim. That I'll probably never play.
Oh, you got Skyrim.
I'm not a big RPG guy, but I felt like I kind of needed that. What was I doing? YouTube strip mall store closing. Is this it? No. I'm never going to be able to find it. Somebody in chat if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe if I search Target, like Target Montreal, Target Canada abandoned. Yes, that's got to be it.
Let's do a channel. I'm ready.
I think this is it. I think it's
What's it called?
put on the desktop. I think it's Bright Sun Films. Yeah, that's got to be it.
Sun.
Ever since I took this case,
I don't have YouTube Red on this account. Yeah, I think this is it. And he like yeah, this is it. He goes to it. He like interviews the dude who owns the strip mall. It's like sick. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I see it.
It's so good. What else do I have here? Reese says, Bob, you mentioned a few weeks ago how Destiny made you appreciate RPGs. Has this influenced you or tempted you to purchase the remaster of Skyrim? Actually, yes. I read this comment last week and I was like, hell no. Why would I play that? But it actually did absolutely entice me to try Skyrim.
You're not into RPGs?
No, not. I just can't like.
But have you ever played an Elder Scrolls RPG?
I've only dicked around.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. You just dick around.
I just don't like backtracking, you know? Or like, you know what it is? I found out that because of Destiny, I found out that it's not that I don't like RPG elements. It's not that I don't like what makes an RPG an RPG. It's that I don't like RPG tropes, like backtracking, like trying to figure out where to go, you know? Like not... Mm-hmm. I need a little bit of hand-holding, I guess. Like, the Legend of Zelda series isn't an RPG at all, but it has RPG elements like trying to talk to all the villagers and stuff and finding what the next thing to do is, because I just feel lost the whole time. And that's not fun to me, you know?
Really? Interesting. Well, I find that Skyrim's pretty clear. Skyrim is just like...
Yeah.
It's like it tells you. You go here and that's it. It's like it puts a marker on your map and it's pretty chill. And the best part about, these games is that you could kill someone in their home and then just stay in their home.
And then it's your home now.
Throw their body into the basement. It's your home now. And that was one of my favorite things. I remember when I first played it. Yeah, it's so crazy. Things just change as you become an adult. Like, I remember being a kid and just playing Morrowind. That was like the Elder Scrolls game before Oblivion. And I was like, yo, I can go to this guy's house and kill him. And I just would go into people's houses and just murder them. Take their stuff. Take their coins and just leave them. And it's just insane. It was so funny.
I mean, it's a lot of people's favorite game. So I feel like I have to play it, at least a little bit.
It's good. It's good. It's a great fantasy game. It was really cool when it came out at the time, but I don't know. I'm not blown away by it anymore. But Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. I did play a little bit of Dark Souls.
Yeah, that game will kick your ass.
Yeah, it did, and I stopped playing it.
Yeah, that game is one of the games. Cool thing about Dark Souls is that it's a game that rewards good behavior. It rewards like good gameplay. If you're playing well, it's like, yo, guess what? You got to the next part. But if you are getting greedy or stupid, no more. It's done. It just robs you. It'll take it away from you. If you're being greedy, you try to get that extra hit, and next thing you know, the boss is just going to take you out. It's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it took me out many, many times. Who do we got here? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Fred says, this thumbnail is going to be mad interesting. If you don't know, every Wednesday after this show on twitch.tv/Bob Wulff, I draw the thumbnail. So that'll be in about an hour. I will start drawing the thumbnail for this episode. I have no idea what I'm going to do because we talked about YouTube and friggin' Rainbow Six. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting. AJ, or Fanatics4, who is another YouTuber, by the way, says, perception is reality. People feel like these team-based shooters are aping Overwatch. It might as well be fact. That's true. There was a third one that came out at the same time. There's Overwatch Battleborn, and there was a third one. It flopped, and nobody remembers.
Yeah. Overwatch,
Paragon?
Battleborn.
No. Paragon is more of like an RTS almost.
No, it wasn't Paragon. It was Overwatch, Battleborn, and... Wow, man. It was something else. There was some other... Yeah. It's just gone, and it's gone forever.
Yeah. It's a blip on the radar.
That's insane. Yeah, totally. It's just done.
Wait. Eat That Pussy says, every country tried killing the Jews. What does that even mean?
I don't know. Eat That Pussy seems like a low-level troll.
We have very low-level troll. Sea Killer, Bunty/Wolfden. What was your favorite game of last year, and what are you looking forward to? I have a video on that, and it was a very close. What? It was very close between Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, and Mario Maker.
Good. Yes, dude, Phantom Pain, man.
Phantom Pain
sick. What a great stealth game. What a great game. Yeah. Ooh, it was so bad though. Wasn't that sad?
What was bad?
You like the story?
The story?
For
no, the story. This Metal
Worst
Gear
Metal Gear story. Worst Metal Gear story.
Metal Gear stories are always all over the place. This one, yeah, it didn't. It was just It's just that the story wasn't existent. It was
Exactly.
like it was way too fragmented.
Exactly.
I could
Metal
tell
Gear-
that it wanted to do really cool things, and it
Yeah.
just didn't. Some parts were amazing, but a
Oh,
lot
dude.
of it was boring.
Yeah, it was so good though. Like, that's something else is so interesting. Snake makes crawling prone look so easy. And I tried crawling prone. I went paintballing and I decided I'd pull some like solid snake shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go prone. I'm gonna go prone and just crawl around. It's so tiring. And this
Yeah.
guy's doing it backwards up hills. I'm like, yo, dude, this guy's
No.
crazy.
That's why his butt looks so good.
He's got such a perfect ass.
Yeah.
Best ass in the game.
Best ass.
I would say that last year. Well, yeah, I would say that it was Phantom Pain for me too.
Did you play Mario
Was it
Maker?
last year? Did I play Mario Maker? No, I didn't.
Mario Maker was my
No, I didn't.
fucking jam. Mario Maker this much over Phantom Pain, only because Phantom Pain had that story that just fell flat, and Mario Maker was endless. It was my favorite game ever, just an endless version of it, and that's
I
why.
can't remember what another game I played last year though that was like really good that I was like really into. It really was
Bloodborne.
and Bloodborne. No, I didn't play Bloodborne. The year before though, have you played this game? Did you play Wolfenstein: The New Order? Have you played that game?
No, my brother was always trying to sell me on it. I have it here, but I haven't played it.
What a game, man! What a story!
Yeah.
What a game! Like, never expected it because I was like Wolfenstein. Whatever.
I was expecting that to be garbage.
Yeah, no, because it's Wolfenstein. I'm like, I even saw gameplay. I was like, this looks shit. But I played the game. The story is so well done. It's just like it's a masterful story. Just great environments, amazing pacing,
Yeah,
wonderful game, best game. One of the best games I've played in a long time.
let's go for another question here. Alejandro.
Have a last
God, I'm such a white person. Alejandro. Hey, Bob, do you think Mario Maker 3DS is worth it even without online sharing? Why wouldn't you just do online sharing if you have it? Because you are going to want to play other people's levels. And yes, I think it's worth it because it's going to have preloaded stuff on there. The last Mario Maker had 100 levels on it, and that's enough for me for a Mario game. If you like Mario, then hell yeah, you're going to want Mario Maker on 3DS. That's my only gripe with Mario Maker on the Wii U was that it wasn't on 3DS. I wanted it on 3DS because the 3DS is a better system.
It looked like it was game perfect for 3DS, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because you got the touchscreen, and it's a bite-sized game. The levels are kind of short, so it would have been perfect. But now it's coming out for 3DS. So
Are you excited about the Nintendo NX?
I am super stoked on the NX.
It's going to be great.
Super
it's going to be the first Nintendo console I buy ever.
Really, ever?
Well,
You've never had a Nintendo console?
no, sorry. I had a Nintendo NES. I had an NES, and then I had a Wii, which I bought secondhand just for Skyward Sword, which was so ugly. Skyward Sword was the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life. It was hideous to look at. I was playing on a 1080p TV, and the game was upscaled from 240p.
Yeah,
something really disgusting. I couldn't believe it. I was just blown away. It was disgusting for me. But there's another question that someone asked. Havel actually asked this question. It's an interesting question because you did want to talk about it, but he said, Bunty and Wolfton, what do you think about streamers switching from YTG to Beam or Twitch? What do you think about that?
From YouTube gaming to Twitch or
Beam
or whatever. What do I think? I mean, I think that's the thing. Me and you already have a subscriber base on YouTube, so I already tried earlier this year switching to Twitch. And it's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all. If you already have the subscriber base. But
yeah, I thought about it. Yeah,
if you're starting and you're deciding what you want to do, YouTube gaming or Twitch, I would absolutely 100% say Twitch every time because it's just that much easier to find people.
You think so?
Yeah, because
I find that with YouTube gaming, because you have a search algorithm and you type in some search results, it'll give you some information. But on Twitch, it's a catalog. So
right. Well, that's what I mean.
You're zero people until you find someone.
So on YouTube gaming, if you want to, well, my point is that like people aren't on YouTube gaming; they're on regular YouTube. So if they're finding you, they're probably finding you through regular YouTube. So
yeah, they're finding you through regular recommended. Yeah.
So how do
And they
people
still don't
find
know what the
you?
hell's going on.
Are they searching Rainbow Six Siege and you just come up because you're live?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
That's interesting because I didn't.
But sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I, it depends on who's searching. If someone never sees live streams or they're not interested, then YouTube's not going to show them a live stream. Like it's just the way it is. It's very strange. And I guess the answer is that what do I think of people doing it? I can understand why they're doing it. They're frustrated. They're upset that they're not getting. They have 2,000 subs on YouTube Gaming that they got through YouTube, and they start a live stream. They got 5 people watching them. But it comes down to community. You could have. I've seen people with 40,000 followers on Twitch, and they got like 20 people watching them. They got 40,000 followers.
I will say on Twitch, people find you based on the game that you're playing. Like, people will go to the browse and they'll click on Destiny and they'll just look at everybody who's streaming Destiny. And you might be all the way at the bottom, but that's still a way to find you, you know? If your if your thumbnail looks interesting, you might get a click or two. But on YouTube Gaming, people aren't finding you in that way. You know, they're not finding you in the browse. Sometimes if like a big person like Game Theory or Achievement Hunter or something, if they're streaming a game and you're on immediately when they stop, if you're streaming while they're on and then they stop, people might jump to you because you'll get recommended. But that's really it. And there aren't many big people like that streaming.
Wow, interesting.
As far as I know, I mean, you're the YouTube gaming guy.
Oh, Skizzle's here. That's cool, man. I've seen some of my favorite streamers Twitch, and they get like 1/10 of what they're getting now. They were getting now, and I hate seeing that. Oh,
I feel like that's just because they started on YouTube, and that's why they're
Skizzle. Are we? We're short on time, huh? It's done now.
Yeah, that's it.
We're done.
We're done here.
I'm sorry, man. I'm really.
That's fine.
I engaged too much.
I'm having a great time.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. This is fun, man.
Let's take one more here. Blah blah blah. Jackie says, Bob, try Pokemon. They hold your hand through the entire game, and I hate it. Pokemon, I kind of really want Sun and Moon. I don't really like. I tried X and Y, and I just halfway through the game I just lost interest. But
so you're a big Nintendo guy. That's interesting.
I used to be, and then I wasn't, and I fell right back into it. Like, I'm not a big Zelda guy, and that's a big part of Nintendo, but I am a huge Mario guy. I fucking love Mario.
I think that I've wanted Nintendo to get out of the console market for the longest time.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
But
and
the Switch looks good. The Switch looks like they're really opening it up again to third-party titles. It looks like there's a lot of developers on board that are going to be chill.
Hopefully they stay on board, because they always, I feel like they always say that. They're always like, yeah, we're down, let's do it. And then like if it isn't exactly what they want, like with the Wii U, they were like, you know what, and they pulled, all the third-party developers pulled out.
Yeah, but because the Wii U is garbage system.
Yeah, it's
so garbage. But the thing is, this system looks like there's no gimmicks. It doesn't look like they have to, I got to program some weird motion garbage. Like, no, it's like,
yeah, it's just
portable, or it's just a console. It's a console. It's amazing.
It's exactly what everybody needed.
It's a console, man. Just a console. That's all I want. It looks great. I'm excited.
Guys, that's it for us. Thank you for being here, everybody.
Oh man, thank you guys, and thank you very much for having me over, man.
Thank you, Mr. Bunty King. You are fucking awesome, guys. Give him a sub. The link is in the description of this video. It's right at the top. Click on it.
Be sure to sub to Wulff then before he sub to me.
Oh yeah, please.
If you're not subbed already.
Guys, don't forget we are on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, fucking what's the other one? Google Play. You listen to us there. Give us a star, comment, whatever the hell. This is every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It goes archived on Thursday, so you can watch it. If you're not here live, don't worry about it. You can also leave us comments either in the chat live, or you can talk to us on Twitter using the hashtag Wulff10Live. And if you don't spell it correctly, I'm not going to read it because you're an idiot. And you can just leave a comment on last week's episode, and we will talk about it in that week. I forgot to do the Fantasy Movie League picks, but every week, if you look in the description of this video, Fantasy Movie League, we have a league. We pick movies that we think are going to do good for the week, and then we talk about it during Wulff Den Live. Next week's Wulff Den Live, I'll talk about it. Or if you go in our Discord chat, we can talk about it in there. But right now, I'm going to take a break, maybe eat some food, because, I haven't done that yet. And then I'm going to be on twitch.tv/Bob Wulff. I'll put the link in the chat. Twitch.tv/Bob Wulff. And I'll be drawing the thumbnail probably around... I did not make that a link. Probably around 11:15. I'll be on there.
Nice.
So thanks for hanging out, guys. Bunty, thank you for being here.
My pleasure, man.
I love
Take
your
it easy.
fucking face. And guys, we'll see you
Thank
later.
you.
Goodbye. Where's my little goodbye screen? There it is.